Welcome to a brand new edition of Big O's Top 20 Countdown. This week, we're counting down the top 20 country songs, and we're talking to our guest, Dan Allard. He's the author of this wonderful book. I just got this book. And you guys, let's get started with this countdown. The number 20 song comes from Keith Urban. This song is called Straight Line. Let's get into it. Straight Line by Keith Urban on Big O's Top 20 Countdown. Ding dang dog it, y'all. Guys. Yeah, you guys, that was a number 19 song, Tucker Wetmore with 321. And we're you know what? I gotta give a full introduction to this artist. Actually, he's a good artist. This is one of his books. I just got the book. I was thumbing through it a little bit earlier, and we're talking to our guest, Dan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Tell my listeners about yourself, sir.
I'm a film historian and writer, living in downtown LA. I have several books on Hitchcock out, one of which is the one you have. And basically, film was my life. I spent my time at the movies.
Wow. How did you get started in writing?
Well, I was a writer from the very start, from school, high school on, with the high school newspaper and then college newspaper. And I worked at a weekly paper in a small town for a long time. So I had that as a profession all through college. And then I taught English for 20 years. And during that time, I thought, well, maybe I should do what I'm telling my students to do. And that's where I started writing and publishing the books about film history, Hitchcock and Billy Wilder and uh, Cold Mountain. Yep.
What was the name of your first book, and how did it do?
That was the one you're holding up.
Oh, this is
Very,
the
that's
first
my
one, the
first
very
book.
first one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm proud of that book because it's been in print for 27 years. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it still sells pretty well, thank God, knock on wood. And
Yeah.
and so yeah, I wrote that in 1997. It was published in 98.
Wow. It was published in
Yeah, that's
1998.
yeah.
Wow. Shoot, you have a lot of great stuff in this book.
Well,
Oh,
thank
wow.
you.
I was
Yeah,
reading, I was thumbing through it a little bit because I'll be honest with you. I will be honest. I'm not going to lie. I just got this book yesterday. So I'm like, I had to
it
thumb
looks
through it
good.
a little bit.
I haven't seen that incarnation of the book. I never have
Oh, you
ordered.
haven't?
It looks good. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Because when did you originally publish it? Was it paperback or was it
it was originally it was both hardback and paperback. And this is a new edition published by Kindle.
Kindle? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
this is I mean, wow. But how many books have you come out with since then? Since this book?
I think altogether that's 6 books. I think altogether. Yeah. The last
Wow.
book I had come out was a book I did with a photographer called Hitchcock's California. It was visited all took photographs of the sites where Hitchcock did the filming in California in particular, and that was a lot of fun. It was Robert Jones was a photographer, a very good photographer. It's really his book, and I helped him with some of the research and we did some of the writing. We had a great time talking about Hitchcock.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of Hitchcock fans in the world, and
yeah, there is. I like him too.
yeah,
Yeah, but you guys, we're going to talk more to our guest, uh, off Dan. But let's get into this. Let's get back to this countdown. The number 18, because I got a great question for you next. Number 18 song comes from Zach Top. This song is called "Good Times and 10 Lines." Let's get into it. "Good Times and 10 Lines." Zach Top on Big Old Top 20 country songs. Yeah, y'all, that was a great number 17 song. Hudson Westbrook with House Again, and we're talking to our guest author Dan. Say your last name for me, because I don't want to
sure.
mess it up.
It's
That's why I don't say it.
you almost got it right. It's Eiler.
Eiler.
Uh, yes, yeah, and you
What
got so
culture is
close to
that?
right. Yeah, what's that?
What culture is that?
I think it's Germany, a misspelled German word. I think that it used
Oh,
to be a
okay,
U with the
okay.
umlaut. Yeah, yeah.
That
So
is so cool. Do you
yeah,
have
thank
a
you.
favorite book that you've written so far?
Oh, what? What was
Do you
that?
have a favorite book? Do you have a favorite book that you have written out of all the six
Uh,
books that you've written?
I think probably the book I did with Tasha on Some Like It Hot is my favorite book.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it included the script and photographs and the story of the making of the film, interviews with all the surviving actors at the time, Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, It's a great book. Yeah.
Oh, I love Tony Curtis. I think that's my he's my birthday mate. Yeah,
Right,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, birthday mate. Yeah,
When's your
shout
birthday?
out June 30th, June 3rd. June
You're
3rd.
there. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of great people. Yeah. I'm telling you. But Dan,
Yeah.
you is there any book that you could you call yourself a like a author, historian, author, or
Right.
a book? Yeah. Would you call yourself that? What would you what do you describe your book yourself as?
Well, I primarily I consider myself mostly a film historian and researcher and
Mhm.
writer. Basically, um, I write for Substack. I don't know if you're familiar with Substack or not. Substack's a great site for
Yes,
writers to share their
yes,
work. So I have
yes.
a monthly column on Substack which talks about
Oh,
the
you
movie
do?
Vertigo only. And it has a nice subscriber base to it. And well, I have a good time talking about the film once a month. I pick a different aspect of Vertigo every month, and it's been going for 2 years now. It's so yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I invite your listeners to definitely check that out on Substack. Substack is a great
Awesome.
site to check out if you're not familiar with it. It's a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
like
I'm very familiar with it.
okay, cool, cool. Okay. Are you on Substack?
Not really, but I have I've been published with the group on Substack, and they
Oh,
published
good.
a couple of my
Good.
poems. You know, so yeah, so I didn't know.
Uh,
I thought it was just like a so it's a blog site too. I didn't know that.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 You basically, yeah. It's a fancy blog site. Yeah.
What's the latest blog about?
The latest one was the capitalism, the economy of Vertigo,
Oh wow.
and we looked
Oh,
at it from a perspective of how the different characters represented different positions in the economic ladder, and how it was a critique of capitalism in a certain way. Yeah.
wow, you're
Yeah.
going deep on that one. You're going deep on that one. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to read it. I have to you're going to have to send me the link on that. Because
Yeah.
I love to
Absolutely.
read about, other people's perspectives. But you know what, we're gonna talk more.
Yeah.
You said
Great.
what?
Yeah. It's easy to find. It's called Hitchcock's Vertigo. Type in
Hitchcock Vertigo. Oh, you know
Substack.com.
what? I got a question for you when we come back about
Yeah.
this book.
Okay.
Um, let's get back into this countdown. The number 16 comes from one of my favorites. His name is Luke Bryan. The song is called Country Song Came On. Let's get into it. Country Song Came On. I'm not saying it right, but let's get into it. How about Luke Bryan on Big Old Top 20 Countdown? Yeah, y'all. Wang Dang Doodle, y'all. That was Parker McCullum with What on the Man. I'm trying to sound, I don't sound, when I try to do country, I don't sound right. I do not sound right. I'm a city boy. I'm a city boy. I'm not in the country.
I was wondering about that.
I'm a city boy, y'all. But
Same here.
it's time to get into the first extra song of the week. First extra song of the week comes from a very good friend to the show. He's been on the show a while back. We might be on the show probably in the next couple seasons on this. And his name is Gabe Wolf. This song is called A Mighty Force. Let's get into it. A Mighty Force by Gabe Wolf on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we're talking to our guest, author Dan. How did you get so obsessed with Hitchcock? Hitchcock. I'm sorry, Hitchcock. Hitchcock.
Yeah, from a young age, I remember watching television back when I was a kid and watching Hitchcock Presents and then seeing Psycho on television late at night. And just immediately, I also there's a series of books that came out when I was a kid called Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators. It's like a
Oh
little bit like
wow.
kind of like the Hardy Boys. And so I
Oh
did
okay.
it right through all those and actually wrote Hitchcock a letter, which he sent me back an autograph picture for.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and so I don't know really why Hitchcock. I'm not sure, other than he is probably the greatest director to have worked and lived in the 20th century. He certainly is in the top three, if not the top one himself.
That's yep. He is. He's a great writer, and I love his movies. His movies are so awesome, man. They're so awesome. But Dan, you also said you were a teacher. How did you? What did you? What are you still teaching, or are you retired, or
No,
what?
I retired teaching. I retired after 20 years of it. I
Oh wow.
enjoyed teaching a lot, but after 20 years, I could write professionally and support myself at the time as a writer. So I just started writing. Yeah,
You started writing. You're writing.
right.
How was the transition from being a teacher to a writer? How has that been for you?
Well, it was. easy, but it is a tough transition because you go from seeing 180 kids a day, six classes or five classes of 30, 35 people, to seeing nobody but yourself.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
so going from a huge crowd of people and the best people on the planet, teenagers, kids
Yes,
who generally want to be there and are fun to be with and fun
yes,
to teach. So that was all those are pluses, and really, had an extra human being, I would have been a teacher and a writer.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys. But you guys, I don't have one. I have some more questions for you, but we're gonna get back
sure.
into this countdown. The number 14 song comes from Eric Church. The song is called Hands of Time. Let's get into it. Hands of Time by Eric Church on the Gold Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did three in a row for you. We did Eric Church with Hands of Time. Number two was Lainey Wilson with Somewhere Over Larndo. All right, whatever. And number 12 was Chase Matthews with Darling. And now it's time to get into the Comedy Corner. The Comedy Corner comes from one of my absolute favorite comedians. I love this dude so much. I'm talking about Abraham Bolger. He is just an absolute funny person. Man, shout out to wherever he's at. Shout out to him. Let's get into it. The Comedy Corner of Abraham Bucci on the Gold Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are talking to our guest, author Dan. Yes. Yes. What kind of what did you have another book coming out? You working on another book? What's the future hold?
I'm not really working on another book. I kind of stay busy with the Substack. I have written though a few screenplays. I've taken the year off book writing to focus
Okay.
on screenplay writing, and during
Okay.
this year, I've written uh, four four screenplays that I finished, and now I'm
Wow.
going back and doing the rewriting, doing picking out which ones I like the best, which ones I want to go forward with, to work a little harder on. So it's
Okay. That's
really,
all about that.
yeah. Yeah, and last November I wrote a novel which I is a complete disaster
Oh
at this point.
no.
At this point, I'm being disingenuous a little bit, but I have a lot of work I have to do on it before I even think of publishing it. But those are the big accomplishments of the last year. Is that I wrote a novel and those screenplays.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You said you got four screenplays. Wow.
Right? Yeah.
What do you plan on doing with those?
Well, hopefully one of them will go into production or something. I'll just send them out. I have some friends who produce and stuff. I'll send it to them, of course, and you know, in their ear. But yeah, I would like to. One of the bucket list things for me is to write a movie that be made. So
Yeah,
ma- yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Man, you're doing awesome things. But we're gonna talk more to you. But we gotta get back in this countdown. The number 11 song comes from Jackson Dean. This song is called Heavens to Betsy. Heavens to Betsy. Let's get into it. Number 11 on the Girl Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did that was a number 10 song. Another Luke Combs song with Back in the Saddle. Now it's time to get the second next song of the week. Second next song of the week actually comes from another Gabe Wolf song. This song is called Up in the Air. Let's get into it. Up in the Air by Gabe Wolf on Big Old Style 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, that was Gabe Wolf. Don't ask me to sing that song because I don't know it. I usually sing the song, but I don't know that song, so we ain't gonna sing it. So we're gonna leave it alone. And we're talking to our guest, author Dan. Dan, wow, you're done a lot. You're doing a lot. What's one thing I always ask everybody this? What's one thing that you haven't done that you would really love to do?
wow. Well, make a movie, everyone. Yeah, even if I'd like to make a movie with the iPhone camera, all shot kind of locally and stuff, just on my own, see how that would work. Of course, the bucket list is to make a. Who wouldn't want to make a movie? I guess in this world, right, making a movie is like like writing the great American novel. Who doesn't want to do that? But so that's something I like to do. I would like to travel more. I haven't seen. I've traveled a lot. I've been
Hmm.
to a lot of Europe and Romania and Germany, etc. But I'd like to go to the Far East. I'd like to see Japan. I'd like to go to Tokyo, and maybe
Okay.
Southeast Asia. Yeah, those are the two things I'd like to do in the next. I shouldn't say the last 20 years, but the next 20 years of my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I
Let's
think
keep
you
a
say
good
go.
thought.
I think go for it. You're an independent. You're an independent writer. Am I correct? You
That's
don't
correct.
write. How do you feel about being an independent writer versus like signing with a major book company.
Well, it's tough to make a living as a writer. I mean, I don't really I don't really make a living. I'm supported through government assistance and stuff to be able to
Yeah,
survive. Because the amount of money I make off the older books and the new books is very small. Comes in a little bit at a time. The plus with writing with the publisher is that they can help you up front by giving you an advance to pay for your
mhm,
time to write the book. And those deals are pretty hard to come by now because of the way
yeah,
publishing works.
yes,
Yeah, but going forward with the next book, assuming I write a book in the next year or two, I will of course shop it around to a publisher first to see if I can get a little support that way and so on.
yeah.
There's lots. I mean, basically, you have to just write a lot and try to get many eyes on what you're writing as possible. Yeah,
So true. So
yeah.
true. That is so true. Um, if you had your choice, would you have like waited and come out with a major publisher, or would you just still stay independent? If you had your choice for the first book.
I'm happy. The first book came out was amazing. It was published by St. Martin's Press. It was St. Martin's Press published it in '98, and then
Hmm.
when it went back to me about in 2008, the rights revert to the writer, and so that's when I put it on Kindle. So the Kindle edition is the continuation of this of the original St. Martin's Press book.
I wish you know what I wish you had the book in front of you. I would tell you say read the patches from it, but I don't know you don't have it. I don't know if I should read a passage from it. I don't know. I don't know. Do we have time?
It
I
starts
don't know.
pretty good.
I don't want to like
It's,
read it in front of you because some writers don't like their books their words to be written interpreted by somebody else. But so far I really like this book. I'm telling you, I'm not blowing smoke up your behind, but
so,
I really like this book, man. The bad
but
luck can be all right now. I like this.
just tell me a little about your show. Tell me a little about what's happening here.
This is actually a top 20 show. We've been doing it for 10 seasons. What we do is we interview artists. Um, we count down the numbers. We count down the top 20, whatever genre I really want to come out with. And it's basically a show about, people. I'm getting to know people, getting to know artists, or getting to know creative people, or whatever you do. We even had a politician come on here last season in campaign. So it's
Ah,
just it's a show about relationships, a show about getting to know people and getting to see why people are doing what they're doing. Basically, what it is, and also help me to hone my journalism skills as well.
good.
Yeah, and that's what you're here because I want my listeners to know about you and know about your art. It's not only is
Okay,
it helping, it's helping you, and it's also helping me too, because I because
right,
I
right.
want to know why you do what you do.
Well, I love movies. I've always loved movies, and so and I want to share that passion with other people. It's I love talking about film. I mean, I think film is the most important art form for the last century, and it is still today. You know,
Really is.
it, it's the combination of all the arts, and it's the coming together of people. It is the theatrical experience of our time. Theater has been a part of the culture for about 500 years. And it's only been the last 120 years that cinema became that theater where the
Yeah,
populace goes to see tragedies and comedies and dramas to
yeah,
be entertained and to be changed. The whole idea
yeah,
of going to see a movie or a play or something, it's to come
yes,
away a little different from it, to have learned something, to have, of course, we all want to have a good time, but the good
yeah,
time is had by changing, by having that
yeah.
cathartic experience. Yeah.
I
And same with
agree.
music or poetry,
Yes,
all the arts.
yes. What's your favorite Hitchcock movie, or what's your favorite movie of all time?
Well, gosh, I'm going to say Vertigo is the easy one to go to.
Yes.
Vertigo was voted the greatest movie ever made. All the critics on the planet to get together and vote once every 10 years on what the greatest
Wow.
film is. And the one for the previous 10 years was Vertigo. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of shared opinion that that's the greatest film. It's not just my favorite film. I like Notorious. It's another
Mhm.
Hitchcock film.
Yes.
Outside of Hitchcock, though, I have to say the movie I've probably seen the most in my life outside of Hitchcock is Wizard of Oz. I
Wow.
generally watch Wizard of Oz 2 or 3 times a year. I
For
love
real?
the movie. It's to me it's all about it's what movies are about. I'm a big Judy Garland fan as well. So I would say Wizard of Oz is kind of up there as number two.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, I love that movie too. To be honest with you, I haven't seen that movie in a long time myself, man. It's been some years since I've seen that movie. But I'm with you. I kind of like that movie. The OG
yeah,
Wizard of Oz.
exactly.
I like
Yeah,
them both. The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz, with Michael Jackson and all them. I like
yeah,
them
that's pretty
both.
good.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you've done a lot. I mean, where do you see yourself in another 5 years?
Well, hopefully another book out. I'd like to get a novel out. Perhaps a novel I wrote, but something will come from this period that I will publish. I'm not sure what yet.
Mhm.
Um, there's kind of avenue with online communities and stuff. There's kind of a place for screenplays to be published as fan fiction and stuff. I mean, that's a possibility for the screenplays are written, as well as getting them produced. That's how you get them produced nowadays. Um, so I want to see myself having at least one screenplay in production and one more book on the shelf. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But we're going to talk more to you, but let's get back into this countdown. The number 9 song comes from John Party. This song is called Friday Night Heartbreaker. Let's get into it. Friday Night Heartbreaker, number 9 on the
I'm
Go
gonna grab
section.
some. Yeah.
That's all right. You
I'm
guys,
right back.
we did a 3 in a row for you. We did number 9 with John Party with Friday Night Heartbreaker. Number 8 was Morgan Wallen with I Got Better. And number 7 was Jordan Davis with Bar None. Now it's time to get into the Independent Song of the Week. Independent Song of the Week is, y'all know I got to play one of my songs. Y'all know that. If y'all don't know it by now, y'all should know it. I got to play one of my songs. This song actually came out on BB King's 100th birthday as my tribute to him. This song is called Better Not Look Down, one of my favorite BB songs. Let's get into it. Better Not Look Down by me on Big Woo! Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all know let's throw that from Soul Train. Yeah. I don't know if you know what Soul Train was, but
Yeah, for sure.
oh, guys, that was my song. Better Not Look Down, the remake of BB King. BB King was absolutely one of my favorites. I
Really,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I actually got to see his last concert he did in LA in 2012. Oh my God, it was the best show I've ever been to. I mean, because I love music, period, but BB was like, you heard a song that that you can actually connect with, songs that you connect with, we can going through something. That's what BB King's music was for me. He had a song called
Interesting. Yeah.
Better Not Look Down, huh?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a song called Better Not Look Down that every time I'm depressed, I always listen to that song, and that's why I decided to remake it. And he would have been, he would have been 100 years old this year.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so we're celebrating by releasing that song. But you guys, we're talking to our author, our guest, Arthur Dan. Forgive me. Sometimes I say something. Hey, you guys, I'm gonna tell you how I met him. I was actually uh, in like a bar because my homeboy Timothy was a bartender. He invited me to the bar, to chill out with them and him and his twin brother. And in came Dan, Author Dan. And all of a sudden he got a drink. We started talking, and he started telling us about his books and stuff like that. I said, "Oh wow, I gotta have you on my show." And here we are. Here we are. I mean, come on, wow. Sometimes things happen organically. We don't plan it, and it's
Right.
all for our
Right.
good. Yeah,
Right.
you notice that sometimes.
What's that?
You notice that sometimes things happen organically.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's why it was. I readily agreed to come on and stuff because it was great meeting you and
Yeah, it was.
your friend there at the bar. Uh, we were at the Alexandria apartment building, the hotel,
Yeah,
and
yes.
I live in a very historic. It's the oldest hotel in town.
Wow.
It was a Biltmore of its day. Presidents came and stayed at the hotel. Warner, I guess right, not Warner Brothers, but United Artists was formed in the lobby with Charlie Chaplin lived here. All the movie
Okay.
stars kind of
Oh
moved
wow.
in here. Yeah.
Oh,
Humphrey
that is cool.
Bogart, Charlie Chaplin, Rio Valentino.
Wow.
It's a major historical landmark for the city. It's also a good place to live. So I live right here in the building, and
Oh,
the
that's cool.
restaurant is a nice restaurant we were at. Just to plug the building in the area. If you're listening in downtown LA or anywhere in
Yeah.
LA, it's worth coming down to see. the restaurant and get a little, yeah, get a taste of what downtown's like.
Yes, 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 yes. So you're not are you a native of California or you migrated over
No,
here?
no, I'm actually a country boy. I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, actually a
Oh,
small town outside of San Antonio. I
what made you
lived
come all the way out here?
to teach at the time. Came out as a teacher. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to
Hmm.
come out. I wanted to come out for movies and stuff, but the job that landed me in California was teacher with LUSD. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I taught at
Wow.
Franklin High and Eagle Rock High and Carson High.
Oh wow. So you taught
Yeah.
there for 20 years. Wow, that
Shout
is
out to
so
all those. Yeah.
shout out to y'all over there. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna get in your business next. But we gotta get back into this countdown. The number 6 song comes from Jelly Roll. This song is called Heart of Stone. Let's get into it. Heart of Stone by Jelly Roll on Big Old Stop 20. Country Countdown, baby. Yeah.
I think I've actually heard that song. I like Jelly
Yeah.
Roll. Yeah, yeah. I like Jelly
Yeah,
Roll. She's
I
pretty
like that
good.
song.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, you guys, we did a number 5 song, Scott McQuarrie with Bottle Rockets. Now it's time to get to the old school gem of the week. The old school gem of the week comes from a woman. She turns 58. She don't even look it. And we're talking about the Little Mo. She has her first single came out 24 years ago. Kind of not really old school, but we just ain't playing it because it's her birthday. That song is called Superwoman. Let's get into it. Superwoman by Little Mo. Old school gem of the week on Big Stop 20 Countdown. Happy birthday, Little Mo. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, that was the old school gym. I'm Superwoman, not the old Superwoman. But anyways, we're talking to our guest, Dan. Oh my God! Now I gotta get to your business. You should never came on because I'm gonna tell you in your business. What's going on with your life, with your love life, and shouts out everybody you want to talk to.
Well, I'll see here. I'm 2 years sober. I'm a recovering addict, and it's been a good 2 years. And I was actually an addict for about 20 years. It took and I was able to stop cold and did it on my own. I didn't go to a rehab. I just toughed it out myself, and I'm proud of being able to doing that. So that's kind of a major deal for me. That was 2 years this summer,
That's
and thank
good.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't really have much of a social life anymore.
I understand.
Now, a lot of the friends that I've had to, a lot of the friends didn't survive, unfortunately.
So,
I was, and then your life takes a major upheaval when you make a right step to go the right direction, to do the right
yes.
thing. Sometimes requires a lot of changes in the team that you have around you. And I
Yes.
have good neighbors up here, and I have my family and stuff. My daughter, yeah, these are all good people who support me a great deal. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But you know what? I always ask the guest, give me a minute of inspiration. Somebody who wants to do something that you're doing or wants to overcome the things that you've overcome. Say something positive to them. Like, give me just a minute of that, please.
But two things: do if you have a dream, go for the dream. And you may have to do other things while you're going for the dream, but it'll make those other things more meaningful, and you'll stumble your way there. At least if you're aiming for the prize, and you have to do something to get to the prize, there's no shame in that. That's what life's about. But having the prize is important. And on the other side of McCoy, as someone who's recovered, it's simple in a way not to be an addict. You just choose not to. Either you are a user or you aren't. There's no middle ground. There's no I'm sort of this, I'm sort of that. You
Yeah.
either use or you don't. And when you're ready to decide don't, just keep that, make sure your mantra. I'm not a meth addict. I'm not a user. These are things I no longer do anymore, and it's not part of my life anymore. And it's kind of easy in a way. It sounds easy. It's not so easy. It takes a lot of self control and willpower. But you start there. You just start there with that definition. Am I a user or am I not? Be honest with yourself, and
Yeah.
learn to live the answer that you want. And mine is I'm not. Yeah, yeah.
All right now, all right now. But you know what, Thomas? I mean, Dan, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We
Oh,
got to get back in this countdown. The number four song comes from Thomas Rhett. The song is called "After All the Bars Are Closed." Let's get into it. "After All the Bars Are Closed" by Thomas Rhett on Big O's Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did three in a row. We did number four was Thomas Rhett with "After All the Bars Are Closed." All the bars are closed. Number three was Russell Dickerson with "Happened to Me." And number two was Shabusi with Good News. Now it's time to get to the number one song. The number one song is just became a number one song. Um, it's by Bailey Zimmerman. This song is called Backup Plan. Let's get into it. Bailey Zimmerman, Backup Plan, number one on Big Woo! Top 20 Country Songs Countdown. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, that was the number one song. Bailey Zimmerman's Backup Plan. Dan, how can people reach you?
it's easy. You can find my books on Amazon. Just type in my last name, which is Auiler. It's a funny name. Or type in Vertigo, the making of, and you find the book that way. I'm also on Substack, like we talked about. It's the easiest place to find. Just go to Substack and type in Hitchcock's Vertigo, and it'll pop up. And that's the best way to find me. Yeah, yeah.
I want to say thank you to our guest, Dan, so much. You were awesome. And I also want to say thank you to all of the stations that carry us, the Block FM, um, what's it called, this Apple Podcast, Spreaker, Kill Radio. Thank you all. You know, this is season 10, and this is, I know I said this is going to be the last season, but then I changed my mind. We still got one more season in us, and this is our 371st show. I want to say thank you to everyone who's holding me up. Thank you so much. And if y'all want to reach me, you can reach me at www.linktree.com/OLUSHEYI.banjo, BANJO. You can actually find this episode here. You can find the music. You can find everything that you really want to find. And the thought for the week is if somebody wants to walk out your life, open the door and let them go. And he always does this with a gospel song. The gospel song that we're going to end this with is my song, my latest single called "Move for Jesus." Let's get into it. "Move for Jesus," the extra song of the week. May God bless you. May God keep you until we meet again.